She was born with a raised fist. Her first words were a critique of the patriarchal structure of the maternity ward. She can trace the entire supply chain of a single almond back to the exploited migrant worker who picked it. She'll tell you about it for an hour. Her bookshelf isn't organized by author or genre. It's organized by the author's perceived position on the heteronormative capitalist hegemony.
The intersectionality isn't horizontal, it's vertical. The authors at eye level experience the most privilege. It's a constant work in progress.
Her idea of a relaxing weekend is a 12-hour direct action protest followed by a heated debate about the problematic themes in The Little Mermaid. She refers to her smartphone as a panopticon of consumer desire and has a 4-star rating on Yelp for the local vegan co-op. She believes the American flag should be flown upside down at all times as a permanent distress signal. She doesn't detox, she decolonizes her diet. She doesn't bike to work to reduce her carbon footprint. She does it to physically manifest her opposition to car-centric urban planning. She also times her route to deliberately slow down traffic during rush hour.
It's not obstruction, it's a rolling protest. My presence is a critical reminder that asphalt is violence. If one BMW driver is late for a golf game, my day has meaning.
She hosts a monthly book club called Deconstructing the Hegemony. The only thing they read is the same Audre Lorde essay, over and over, each time finding new ways to feel guilty about it.
We're not here for pleasure reading. We're here for the painful, recursive work of unlearning. Last week, Jason found a new microaggression in the third footnote.
She refers to her rescue cat as her non-binary feline companion and has tried to get it to use a litter box made of reclaimed, sustainably sourced materials. The cat prefers the floor.
The floor is a colonial construct. The litter box is decolonized space. His refusal is a political failure.
She can't enjoy a museum. She stands in front of paintings and audibly critiques the artist's racial and gender politics. Security knows her by name. She is the most left-wing woman in the world.
I don't always carry a sign, but when I do, I prefer one that challenges the very foundation of the wage labor system. Stay on strike, my comrades!
Oh, my God. Sorry. I love that so much. It's just so true on so many levels. I hope you guys are all having a good Friday. I know it's been kind of a chaotic week. Uptober, like shittiest Uptober ever. But if you think about it, I talked about how September was going to be better than people thought because of August. And it was. And so it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of some cruel justice that October not be as great and that it carries over into the next month. I do think really good things are happening. We have a lot going on. On the 29th, we have Donald Trump meeting with Xi, supposedly. We'll see if that happens. I think you need to be prepared for the non-zero chance that that goes badly. I don't think it's a high probability. I think it's probably like 5%, maybe 10%. But I do think that, at least for myself, as I make money, it looks like CleanSpark was up 5% yesterday. It's up about 4% in pre-market. The other miners are screaming. Iron's going up like crazy. Bitfarm, Cypher. I think as I'm making money off my options play, and that's repopulating, I've already carved off like at least $1 million from it, right? I did about 45% of my holdings before and chipped off about $1 million. Put that into other things. I'm going to continue that same philosophy. I deliberately, if you guys looked over the last, really for the week, I didn't buy back a lot of CleanSpark shares. I think I might have gotten a small amount. I bought them back after we dropped 66% over the course of 2 days, right? I bought them back then, but then I essentially sold all the shares that I had bought back, or at least the bulk of them, when it went up another 45% on the bounce. And I used that money to get into things like SOLT and BMNU, especially along with ASST, Ass and Titties, previously affectionately known as Ass and Titties, now Strive. We talked about that chart. We'll probably bring that up in a little bit. But I've been trying to de-lever from my crypto positions that have high amounts of leverage. CleanSpark is definitely one of those. Mara is another one because, again, I'm running options on these plays. I'm going to continue that. I'm going to continue to add to TLT. Right now, I think I only have $250,000. I sold a decent chunk, what was it, yesterday and the day before? I don't remember, or maybe the 2 days before that. and then bought, and by a decent chunk, I mean a couple $100,000, right? And bought Solt and BMNU and these other things. And I think that's going to turn out really good. BMNU was up 2.42 yesterday. It's up 2.6 in pre-market. Solt was up 12% yesterday. It's only up a little less than 1% in pre-market. But I think, guys, I think we're getting bouncy. I think we're getting real bouncy. I think we're going to get a BART. C-list, thank you, man. 19 months. Fuck, has it really been that long? That's crazy. What is my sense of the BTC bull time frame? Good question. I don't know. And I can't pretend to know. I do have a good post about this, though. Let me see. Not that one. It's this one. Somebody said, kind of the same thing. It seems to be a prevailing question. You think the cycle is ending this year? I'm going to say that's the same as yours. I said probably, but I can't make that judgment right now. All I can do is to prepare for a blow-off top and then reevaluate at the time whether or not to re-enter on the lows, which I think gets me to 12 to 20 million. Seems like a good year to me, and why not be ready for the next thing at that time? I mean, the fundamentals of bubbles will not change. They will slosh back and forth as money printing continues. Also, what happens if we end up at war with China? One should weigh alternatives to this time is different. And I really believe that to be true. Anybody who tells you with 100% surety that the cycle has extended is a liar, because they have no previous history to dictate that off of. You could definitely see changes in price action since ETFs. I can agree with all that. But bubbles are bubbles. Now, here's the great thing. We haven't experienced one yet, right? Gold has seen one. Nice segue into James E. Thorne here, my favorite Canadian brother from another mother. He says the long-term thesis for gold is still relevant as it was 5 years ago. I agree with that. I do believe gold can continue to go up. But parabolic moves should not be bought. They should be sold. And it shows that gold had the greatest inflows in history over the past 10 weeks, and the most in one single day. And when you see a parabola, you sell it. And I'm going to say that's still true today. And I'm going to say that the BTC gold ratio is still true. And I'm going to say that this tweezer fucking top on gold is the biggest I fucking told you so ever. Remember when I told you up here to sell all your gold and buy Bitcoin? That would have been the right move. Whether you think that or not, that would have been the right move. What time frame was that? Let's see here. Our second thrust here, October 20th, 4 days ago. So let's just say like in the last week. Let's look down over in the right-hand corner at Bitcoin over that last week. It go up. Gold go down. That simple. Okay? A caveman could fucking do this shit. If they weren't retarded. Which, I mean, a caveman kind of is. So maybe not the best analogy. But if you look over here, the BTC gold ratio, I have adjusted this trend line to be more accurate to current situation, right? Like this is really the trend before we kind of cut this short, trying to go along with this. We broke underneath of it. Yes, we did. But if you look here, even if we brought this back up towards this other trend line, we're working our way towards it, and we definitely found a trend line of support going back to November 2023 right here. So we can still use it as like a dividing line. I, though, think that the smartest way to do it is always to the bold. And we're above both of these, and we're getting ready to take off. And I've shown so many charts that show the same thing, right? Previous bull market top right here. Previous bull market top right here. Mid-cycle top right here. Previous bull market top, double top, highest rates in history. Oh no, YouTube is not receiving enough video. Let me know if my video gets weird, guys. Oh, I fucking hope it isn't. I don't think I rebooted my computer recently. I'm just going to check something real quick. Hope I didn't fuck this up. It looks like I'm okay on memory. I don't know. I don't have a VPN on. I'm okay on memory. Hopefully this still works. Anyway, back at it. So, again, raised rates at the most aggressive rate in history. I think we would have been up here. Now, recently, we did get a little bit of a baby top up here, kind of like, right? But it's the same as the previous level. There's nothing euphoric about this. I want to point out this. I want to point out this. We haven't seen that yet. That's getting ready to come. So I do believe that the cycle is not over. I do believe, contrary to what I thought at the beginning of the year, what was I saying? September, guys, the cycle is going quicker than normal, and it's going to bomb out quicker than normal. So you need to be prepared to exit sooner. That was my thought. Complete opposite of that. But what's great about that is it didn't really hurt us, right? We're still here. I'm still up. I'm still over 5 million. Things are sitting good. Who knows what today? Maybe we'll get back to 6. Who knows? But I think at the very least, again, 29th, Xi and Trump are talking. I think that will most likely turn out to be something that's good. And I think there's a bunch of other things happening that are really good. We're going to have our first rate cut. We're probably going to have an end of quantitative tightening and the beginning, or at least the direction and talk of doing QE in the next rate cut in December. We have a world that is printing money and desperately needs to. China is getting hurt more already, guys. In case you don't, can you guys tell me if things are looking good too? Excuse me. I want to make sure the video is still playing. It looks like it is. Getting these shitty messages from YouTube, so it's hard to know sometimes. But so not only do we have rates coming down, China is suffering right now badly. Why? Because all the manufacturers that had all their orders canceled in April because of tariffs, they're all getting cancellations again because companies and people are like, do we want to order this right now? Or is it possible by the time it gets here, I have 100% fucking tariff on that really expensive thing I was going to buy? Should I do that? And so they're already canceling orders. The pressure that Trump exerts on China is immediate. Immediate. Okay? Whether we do it or not, it hurts them. And Xi knows that. Every fucking time he can see it, right? And if he can't see it, well, he's a fucking idiot. And he's got the dictator fallacy ruling his life. But I think really good things are coming. I think those were just some quick highlights. There's so many other good things that are happening. And again, we have the market structure bill that people are talking about now. I think that's a great North Star. You always need a North Star every cycle, right? I remember 2017, it was that we were getting futures in Bitcoin. I don't remember. I think we got CBOE eventually, and then I think we got the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, second. And the second we got the CME, boom, cycle over. It was just done, right? And then if you think about it, this last cycle, the one we're in right now, everybody ramped up everything into ETFs. We got the ETFs, boom, just butchered for a while, especially in things like Bitcoin miners and stuff like that, right? Just consolidation. So, but I think that news event is going to have a similar problem, but I'm okay with that because it looks like it's not coming until the end of the year, and that's fucking great. And guys, I just want to reiterate something here. We're going to look at fund strat stuff. We got a lot of good stuff, as usual. A lot of good stuff to really talk about. And you know what I had? I had Long Invest reach out to me. I don't know for what. He just said, hey, maybe we could do some stuff together sometime. He seems like a cool guy, I got to say. And I give credit. I try to be a genuine person. I give credit where it's due. I said in a post, and I think he saw it. I don't know. We haven't talked too much yet. But I said, from macro, I have crushed it this year. I'm 90% plus right on ask him to unblock us. Okay, I will. I'm 90% right on what's happened this year. I've executed great. And I was like, but individual stock performance, I've done bad. I've really done worse than my expectations. And so I was honest about that and kind of pointing out all of the failures that I had, which I think everybody should do. I don't remember who was asking, but somebody was basically saying, hey, you're really good at talking about all the great things you do. What do you do wrong? Because I find people learn a lot from what they do wrong. So I took the time to say that. And then I had Long reach out to me after that. So that was kind of interesting. I do think that he is, I think he's a smart guy. I think he's cocky, but I am too. So I don't know what to say about that. I can't hate him too much for it. But, and he blocks people. I mean, I do that too, right? Like I'm super fucking guilty. I block good people all the time, accidentally. You know, I'm just dumb sometimes. But I think I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know where I was going, but I might do something with him again in the future. He seems like a good dude, and he's smart, and that's what I like. And we have very different opinions. I think he's left leaning, or at least not a Trump person, and I get it, right? Like everybody has different views. Everybody has different life experiences. Everybody has different information that they're digesting on the daily basis. I can't hate people for having different views than me. But maybe between him and me, there could be some kind of balance. I don't know. We'll think about it. I'll probably never do anything. I really don't play well with others. So we'll see what happens. But I do think that it's good to get different perspectives from people. And I think it helps you kind of discern what truth is when you get to listen to different arguments. Somebody bought BMR Leaps, BMNR Leaps. That's probably a good idea. I was lazy and got BMNU. The Leaps could be really good. I try to diversify. If you guys notice, I've got like some Bitcoin treasury companies. I've got some that are in options. That hasn't turned out well. I have Bitcoin miners, 2 of them that are options plays. I've got other things that are options plays because I think there's really good opportunity, and it's very clear that the option is performing better than a 2x or a 3x fund. TLT is one of those. I think the TLT fund with options contracts is just so much better than TMF. Days where TMF was pulling 3.5%, I was getting 15 to 20 in my options. So there's things I like to diversify though, and I think. Like BMNU, I'm just doing the 2x for BMNR, and then Solt, I'm just doing the 2x for Solana, just the actual underlying, right? So I like to try different strategies and see how they work out, and it's kind of another way of hedging. But I hope those work great. I hope the leaps were attractive. I hope you were able to use that Options 101 video and get a lot from it. I do want to talk about some stuff, though. Before we get to Tom Lee, I want to talk about the Fear and Greed Index. We were in extreme fear yesterday. And I think even the day before at some point. So, or maybe it might have been yesterday briefly. It was definitely the day before. But this is good, right? We've talked about this numerous times, and I probably should. I've got all these tools, and I just don't pull them up enough on here. I look at them, but I just forget to bring them up. But we're down in like extreme territory. And you know what? Maybe I just go over here. Let me do this. So this is got the AAI sentiment survey. This is one Tom Lee loves to follow. Oh, I'm not even logged in. Maybe though I could still find what I need. Let me see, fear and greed. If not, I can pull it up. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to sign in. I do want to show you the longer view of this because I think it provides value. I'm pretty sure it does. Let me just do this. 1 second. What's my sign in? Son of a bitch. So much stuff to do. 1 second. Almost there. Just got to do one of these little jobs. Maybe. Uh-oh. I got to figure that out. Oh, did that work? Yes, it worked. Okay, cool. All right. It's getting a little scared. Wasn't coming up with my stuff. Let's see here. I'm going to try Google. I can't remember if I signed up with this one under what account I was on. So give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, this could be one. Fear and greed by relevance. How is the United States not at the top of the relevance? Hong Kong is at the top. South Korea is at the top. For real? All right. Let me pull this over. Let's just take a look. All right, so we got the CNN Fear and Greed Index. Let's go back a ways. I love that you can get, maybe this isn't my good account. I think I signed in with the wrong one. Whatever. It's still working. It's not changing the tabs for some reason. Oh, there we go. Okay. So it is working. All right, so what I wanted to point out here, though, is how low we are, okay? Now, were we worse in the peak of the tariff fear? Yes. Could we see something like that again? Yes, I think we could. Again, maybe there's a 5 to 10% chance this shit blows up next week, and it sucks. Do you think, tell me, chat, what do you guys think? Do you think it's smart that we actually, if we're doing really good this week, Clean Sparks up 4% in pre-market, total of 10% almost in 2 days, and that's an options contract, tons of leverage, expires in November. Do you think that one being my highest levered tool, expiring in November, that it might make sense that I chip some of that away to find a hedge like TLT, something that is the opposite of what CleanSpark has been doing recently and has just barely been going up, is still down almost 50% from its high 5 years ago or four plus years ago, and is getting ready to break out of a trend that I think could easily get it to at least 100, 110 with this big old trough over here. And based on the thesis that I have on U.S. Treasuries. And now, guys, in case you guys missed it, we have Michael fucking Howell saying that he believes long end bonds might perform better in the future because of the fact that the Treasury Secretary is starving out the long end of the curve. And all that means, everybody likes to say complicated words and form them in different ways that are like insider information and you don't really understand what they're talking about. All that fucking means is that the 10 to 30 year bonds, that they're not issuing any. So we have artificially constricted supply. Well, we know how well that's treated Bitcoin every 4 years, right? So if they're not issuing any of the long end and they're basically promising they're just going to issue the short end so that they can artificially manufacture the curve, the yield curve that they're talking about, all that is, guys, is there are different yields that are currently showing available for everything from the shortest of treasuries to the longest of bonds, right? And so they're trying to manufacture that and turn it into what they want. And they're doing that very successfully. They took over that. It's funny because Janet Yellen was doing that and everybody said it was shit. But right now they're doing that because, again, what they want to do is manufacture an economy that has seen the trough and is getting ready to just rocket out of it. And so it's smart that they continue that same process. I said they were going to continue that same process. I think I said that for a very long fucking time, probably at least a half a year, where I said, guys, they're not going to blow up the long end of the curve, which again is the 10 to 30 year bonds, when the government themselves has an incentive to make those rates lower so that their debt is manageable. And why would they do that? Because the largest expense on our debt that everybody wants to talk about, but most people don't understand, the $38 trillion in debt, is fucking interest right now. It's the same stupid chart you see all the time from everybody talking about how the banks hold so much, like they're underwater and they're just fiscally bankrupt, right? Because of all these government bonds they hold. None of that fucking matters if they lower the long end of the curve. The government has a more sustainable path for its debts and the USA can thrive. Corporations, like all the commercial real estate everybody's scared about, can survive. Private sector debt can survive, and we can do just fine. All these problems, the banks can be fixed if we just lower rates. So why people say, show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome, right? Why, if that saying is so true, did people believe that yields were going to explode in the United States and that we wouldn't work to find a solution to fix that problem? And they've just done the most basic of things right now. It's really nothing. We have so many other tools in our war chest. So instead of listening to a bunch of doomer cucks that have like 1 million fucking subscribers and who would lose you money hand over fist every fucking day because they're incapable of trying to find solutions to problems, instead of listening to those dumb motherfuckers, maybe listen to me. All right. I think we're starting off well today. It's feeling really good. It's a good Friday. Cheers to everybody that's here. I'm going to try and get caught up on chat for a second. You appreciate the fact that I talk through my strategies. I am happy to do that, man. Like I think that if there's anything that would have helped me in my investment journey, it would have been somebody who didn't try and sound smart in a fucking interview or on a YouTube video, and instead would really try and figure out what's going on in the world and how they can have conversations with people that help them understand it. That's what we should be doing if we're in service to people in a community, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm just lit today. I don't know what's up. Thoughts on Jane Street stake and Cypher? I mean, I think that sounds great. I think here's what I think. I think it's this simple, guys. If you have long invest pushing something, it's probably going to do well. Not necessarily because they're always right, but I mean, they're mostly right. And then at the same time, they have huge followings, and especially Mike Alfred. I mean, he's really exploded. Not that Long has not, But Mike Alfred has the Midas touch right now. So if he's saying Cypher, if he's saying CleanSpark, if he's saying, Iron and all these others, they're going up. I mean, they are. Just because of his following, if nothing else. And I think he's right. I think at least over the short term, we're going to see more requirements for HPC, not less. So, yeah, I think Cypher could do well, man. I'm glad I own some. I didn't even know I owned some. I'm pretty sure I own some. I think I looked at one of my accounts and I was like, holy shit, I own Cypher. Probably owned a lot more at one time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. I'll look at it in a second. Ally isn't working right, but I'm on fire. You're welcome. Hey, I told you it was going to be a good one. If you guys think it's a good one, can you go back to my post over here? Here, let me do this real quick. Please like. Oh, God, I can't type. Comment and share the above post. This is the important part, guys. If you got 2 seconds, please do this. Please have a comment. Please share it, too. There are 800 plus people already here. I work my ass off for you guys to give you information that other people don't. Not a lot of people. And so if you could just do this simple thing, man, I would greatly appreciate it. Your Cypher was couch money. Yeah, I think it was, right? I think I found it. It's like when I found that MicroStrategy money and I found like $120,000 from not touching MicroStrategy. Yeah, I do have an account that's got some. It shows an account number kind of, so I'm not going to show it, but yes, I have one. I only have like $55,000 worth, but it's all right. It's all right. Thank you guys for doing that. I appreciate you. All right, let's get back to work here. So we got to see an fear and greed index, which I think, yes, it could get worse next week, but the probability is that it's not going to. So be prepared for both outcomes and realize that we're at record low numbers. Again, beautiful numbers. I've got more money than I had at the beginning of the year, and we're in fear territory on the edge of extreme fear. I'm a happy camper right now. We got the crypto world. We're sitting in extreme fear at 25. Let me refresh and make sure that's right. Sorry, 30. So we did get a little bit of a bounce back yesterday. I think that's fair, right? Coin market cap. We'll just check this one real quick. Seems close. 32, still in fear territory. I like it. Let's look at Trueflation and see where we're sitting here. We'll check the CME Fed watch tool super quick. 2.3%, still well within the realm of where we want it to be. We've got CPI today, guys. It ain't till 12:30, but we do have 8:30 data. Let me pull it up here real quick. What are we getting today at 8:30? If you think I provide concise, valuable information in a short time frame, shortish, I'm working on it. Give me a break. Then please like and do all that other shit. Yeah, see, look. So we got core inflation rate. We got the CPI. We got the S&P global composite. I don't know that these things are. Some of this might come in. The state surveys and things, I feel like those come in. I think they're regional. Can you guys tell me? Let me know, guys. Anyway, let's get back over here. The CME Fed watch tool. Let's look at this. Let's see what our chances are of having 2 more rate cuts between now and the end of the year. I'll tell you what, they're fucking high. Is it at 8:30? Is it 8:30? And maybe this just is wrong. I thought it was 8:30 earlier. Maybe it's just broken. We'll stick with 8:30. I feel like it was supposed to be earlier, and I don't know why the time got weird. So we'll check at 8:30 no matter what. I'll stick around till that, okay? We got a 97% chance of a rate cut in October. We've got a 88% chance in December, slightly depressed from where it was. 88% chance. And in January, what are we sitting in January? So if we're right that we get 2 rate cuts this year, that gets us 350 to 375. And then it looks like there's a 50-50 chance, a 46.7% chance that we get a third one in January. In 15 minutes? Oh, it's Eastern. Shut the fuck up. Really? I mean, you're probably right based on history, but I don't see it in here. I'm just going to refresh again. I can tell you what, though. We're going to be ready for it. If it comes, I got multiple screens up. I got so many fucking screens around me. I'm going to take a picture real quick so you guys get to see. I'll show you this later. I'll post it. But, like, I think some of you guys know what I look at in a daily basis, but I don't think you all do. So we're just going to take a picture, and I'm going to post that real quick to show you guys what I'm looking at every day when I'm sitting in front of this computer. It's pretty fucking nuts. Let's see, is that image of my account tiny enough? I should probably blur that out. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right, save. I'm going to share this. I got to. All right, good enough. There you go. That's my view of the world, guys. I already covered it. You got to be fast, man. You got to be fast. Plus, I used to show that all the time accidentally. All the time. The OGs know. Let's see here. I got it somewhere. Let me see if it's up here. All right, we got a member, Akil Bennett. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being a member. You can talk and chat now, dude. If you like, if you want to talk, throw something out there. I think I updated and uploaded this. I hate it how long it takes to get stuff. It's like, bro, where are you? Oh yeah, that's my view of the world, guys. Desk is a little messy. Please ignore. That's my view of the world. Isn't that crazy? So when I'm looking at you guys and I'm kind of staring around every once in a while, that's the shit I see. All right, let's keep going. So we got a really good chance to see me. Guys, have we hit any indicators yet showing a top? 0 out of 30. I've got more on top of this, but none of them have triggered. Feels like a good place to be right now. Let's go back over, get to work. We're going to go to FS Insight. Yeah, so when you guys, like, again, when I'm talking about shit and I'm looking at screens, I'm looking at everything, dude. I'm looking at everything, like everything. Oh, why didn't that come up here? Let me refresh. Yeah, I think by the end of the year, IBIT calls look good. I'm going to have to check that shit out. But yeah, look at that, dude. That's my fucking view of the world, right? This is what I see on the daily. And this looks kind of weird and distorted right now because of the way I was sitting. But like I have the middle monitor is 46 inches. I think the other one's 40, and then there's 327s. Something like that. They look bigger for some reason, just based on the proportion. It's a lot of information, right? I think, I used to think that I was like this failure of a human being and stupid because I got like 3 Fs, 2 D minuses, and a D in 4th grade. I dropped out of high school a year and a half into it. And I just did really, really poorly on everything, right? Couldn't retain information, couldn't focus. My daughter has some of that same problem. But what I didn't realize is it was a fucking superpower. Dude, I think I spit on my mic too much. That looks disgusting, by the way. Probably shouldn't point that out. Anyway, I'm going to replace this part of the mic. Clean that bitch. Let's get back to work. We're having fun today. All right. Let me see here. We got Sean Farrell. Let's first look at earnings related information. I'm imagining the stand for my MacBook. Yeah, dude, it's like a warranty box. Isn't that awesome? We're hitting it real right now, guys. Let me refresh here real quick. Okay, there we go. 89 companies are reporting this week. Over 141 companies have reported so far. That's 28% of the S&P 500. Overall, 85% are beating estimates, and those that beat are beating by a median of 6%. Of the 14% missing, they're missing by a median of negative 2%. This is good. These are good numbers. This is what we like to see. I'm not going to go over all this, but anybody, you could pause if you want to look at this and see what sectors are doing. But I like it. You can't hate it. Thank you, Tom Lee, for being Tom Lee. We've got some Tom Lee updates last night. I did not hear these. Is anybody interested in hearing Tom Lee talk real quick? I'm going to say yeah. Slobberman. Oh, Silas. Thank God you've been here. What was it? 17, 18 months? Whatever the fuck it was, man. I appreciate you being here. Your comments are some of my favorite. Your mind is very much like my own sometimes.
Hello, everybody. Today's the 23rd of October. Thank you for tuning in. So we did have a very nice rally today in the S&P, and yes, it was led by technology.
Oh,
it was not
Mark.
as broad-based as we might have wanted to see, but I don't really think that matters in the near term. As long as stocks like Apple and Google have broken out, we're seeing evidence of NVIDIA starting to stabilize and turn higher. Tesla, of course, made a very big reversal. So these stocks are all very important to the indices. And in general, when I took a look at the near-term pattern, it's starting to look very positive to me towards thinking we are going to see an upcoming breakout that could actually happen ahead of the Fed meeting. We do have a lot of tech earnings next week. I think in general, tech is going to push higher. We could see earnings happen that carries tech up into, a possible peak into November initially. But for the time being, I think that a move up above 67.52 in the S&P should happen and carry markets up over the next few weeks. So that should lead S&P up to right near 68.50 to 69.50. At that point, if we reach that into early to mid-November, I do suspect that markets can back off a little bit, but I'm not expecting really any sort of meaningful damage. For the time being, that could happen early next year. We'll talk about that, of course, when the time comes. For the time being, trends are intact. It's great strength out of tech. So I think we're going to push higher. NVIDIA certainly has shown a little bit of evidence of trying to stabilize, even with some other tech being weak. We've sort of held where we needed to, even on.
Mark is really great, guys. Again, if you guys can afford it, and not everybody needs to do this subscription isn't insanely cheap, but it's a good one. Check out my pinned post if you guys are interested in subscribing. I think I've gotten like 50 or something plus referrals that are active for Fundstrat right now, and I know he appreciates it. So thank you guys for doing your part. But if you have a lot of money, to me, it's an absolute no-brainer to be subscribed to FS Insight. I give this stuff to you for free when I'm not even supposed to do it. We can look at Ping You if you guys really want to look at it. Give me a second. But this is great stuff, and I'm not supposed to do this, and he still lets me do it, or he hasn't figured it out yet. And if we're going to do that, if we're going to give you insights every once in a while, please, if you have money, subscribe. They've got a mobile app. You literally get a communication like a text message saying, hey, new video out. You click on it. You learn so fucking much. A lot of what has made me better over the last year plus is this. So if you got the money, spend it.
On a short-term basis, you take a look at the technical structure, and it's clear, at least to me, that I think we likely have attempted to buy.
And if you pay, like, again, when you refer other people too, it lowers your cost. This isn't just something where, like, for people like me, I get it for free right now because I have so many referrals for this. So I don't pay a dime. But if you even give a couple of referrals, it lowers it a lot for you. So check it out. It is cool.
Bottom in a three-way fashion.
How much is it? That's a great question. I don't remember off the top of my head. Let me move the screen off for 2 seconds. I know I can show you the referral bonus thing too, how that works for people. Because it is actually, I mean, it's really great, guys. It literally is. If you can't afford it, that's fine. But if you could spend $100 a month on something, and it's not a big deal to you, you're insane not to have this subscription, in my opinion. And I get nothing else, guys, for more people that sign up. I am so deep into the referral bonus area right now. I'll show you just from this view, and then I'll try and pull up the rest. I just don't want to give you anything you're not supposed to have. My current discount is 100%. My savings is $250 a month. That's for crypto and their other stuff. I've got, I guess it's 40 active referrals right now. So I'm deep into that, but I'll show you guys what the discount rates are. I think they've got them in here. Let me see if I can find that. I know it's in here somewhere. Let me just shrink it down. I want you guys to see kind of what the... is it still here anymore, or can I see it? Here it is. Okay, you guys got to see this. This is actually pretty cool. So if you do one referral, if you just do the macro stuff, it is $170 a month, or it's $212, I think. Well, I don't know. I don't know the difference between pro and macro. Whatever. We'll stick with pro and look at the most expensive one. But if you refer like 5 people, it's $100 a month instead of $250. Oh, that's probably including both. I think pro is including both macro and crypto. If you just do macro and you don't care about crypto at all, it's $170 with 1. With 2, it's $140. 3, it's $110. 4, it's $80. 5 people, and it's $50. If you get 7, it's free. So if you introduce your friends to this, and then if you have a ton of money, none of this fucking matters. $1,000 in a year, if you've got better tools, means nothing to you. So I'm going to use this as a quick... I didn't know I was doing a promotion on FS Insight, but you're welcome, Tom Lee. But I just want to reiterate, sometimes the tools, especially if they're cheap, are invaluable to you, and you should always have them, okay? With me, I give away almost everything for free. You guys get a little more extra, like the charts and like Again, the Discord is cool. You have access to my historical trades. You can talk to me on here and I can answer questions sometimes and we can have dialogue. And then on X, I make you a priority. And then I do subscriber only posts. But really, you can get 90% of what I do for free. I think a lot of people just want to contribute because I work hard, right? And my all-in cost is $11. But if there are tools that are like cheap, where one decision in a day, like I should go get that really nice, restaurant food, could pay for all of that, and you're going to do that. You do that all the time. So you might as well take one of those out and give yourself a better tool to make better decisions with your wealth. If you're rich and you don't have the right tools because you're cheap, what the fuck are you doing? Or if you're just doing well and you're making a lot of money or could make a lot of money, see other people making a lot of money, get the right tools. That's all I'm saying. Just think about that. Sometimes the tool is worth the investment. All right, so there's a post over here. David B put, imagine when they're trained to clean the toilets. So what is he talking about? I had a post that said, it's astonishing to me how some people can have such bad EDS or Elon derangement syndrome that they don't see just how amazing Tesla's Optimus is or all of the other things this company has done. They live in such a sad fucking world. And then we're looking here at just what has changed in such a short period of time. And then his comment, David's comment was, imagine they get trained to clean toilets, mow the lawn, do the laundry, and other tasks at home. In addition to every home wanting one, it will also end the employment of so many illegals who simply go back home. I made an argument in here. Let's go back. I said, maybe real Donald Trump isn't crazy trying to remove illegals from this country, and maybe it's not tied to racism and fascism. Maybe, just maybe, his government understands the pressure they'll create on our system once jobs start to go away, illegals create. Maybe Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, understands that removing illegals is a great way to keep unemployment artificially low. Trying to see if we got that data yet. And if we're keeping the unemployment low, we've never seen a recession in history that has started with low unemployment. So if we're getting rid of the costs we're paying to subsidize these people, yeah, it should be coming up. I'm watching right now. If we're getting rid of all these things and we're creating automation, like maybe we're doing what we know we should be doing at this point in time. Maybe. Just think about that. Maybe that's what's actually happening. Again, if you have TDS or EDS, I don't even care. You can be here. I don't mind that. Just make good arguments or shut the fuck up. And then maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you'll get a perspective that you don't hear anywhere else. All right. Let's see. Let's keep going here. I'm just going to kind of go down the list. I put here, I told you earlier in the year that the Fed didn't matter anymore and that Scott Bessent was where you needed to focus your energy. Now, I try and make comments short. I don't give a lot of detail. I'm lazy, okay? And B, I have a very short attention span, so I move on to other things. And I'm sure there's a C. Oh, yeah, C. I link to other people that are great for the details. So if you want to learn more about it, you can learn about it from these people. Endgame Macro is a doomer, but he's also right. He said, while the Fed still sets interest rates and drives the headlines, real control over market liquidity is shifted to the Treasury. In the past, before we even go further. So what is he telling us here? He's telling us that the power has shifted to the Treasury. So this is my comment, right? I said, I told you earlier in the year that the Fed did not matter anymore and that Scott Bessent was the only place you needed to focus your energy. Bitcoin's pumping? Cool. Or would you say it's an inverse BART pattern? I would. But I told you who you should listen to. If I'm telling you to listen to people, it's because you should fucking listen to them. And if you don't want to delve into that subject, that's fine. But at least if you disagree with my opinions and I give you information, it said 3%. Oh, shit. Fuck yeah, no wonder Bitcoin's pumping. That makes sense. That makes sense. 0.2%, guys, lower than consensus and forecast month over month for September. Inflation rate at 3%. The consensus was 3.1. Forecast was 3. This is beautiful. We're going up. We're going up. Inflation is good. The economy is slowing. The stagflation narrative just got fucked in the ass. Sorry if you got kids here. You know what we should listen to? Rick Schmantelli. That bro is going to be so happy right now. He's such a Trumper. You know he is. Oh, wait, I got to go back here. Let's go back. I love it when he turns purple. He's a little pink today. So we're getting a little something. I got to make sure I don't play the volume on these videos. Otherwise I get in trouble. There we go. Good morning. It's going to be a good day.
We are just seconds away from our first data point since the
SOLT
government
is up 4.3%. Ethereum's almost over 4,000.
Did we know how much we would miss? All those
the numbers, the data,
that we do.
Feeling a bit of a
CleanSpark is up almost 8%.
We are.
If you didn't sell, guys,
some, actual government data, and we're going to get it today. The future's ahead of that.
If you bought like I did,
it's been a positive week. I don't know if it's AI or earnings have been pretty good, but for whatever reason.
Sam, did you buy? I hope you bought, Sam.
The worst case scenario has not played out. And we got nervous about a week or two ago with the China resumption of that.
I know why you were asking the
treasuries right now. I think we are. This could change.
We're so back. Isn't that funny, JT?
That. He is standing by, Rick Santelli, that is, at the CME. You're excited, right?
What's the difference between a balls and shaft pattern and a Bart Simpson pattern? They're very different, but it's more about measured move and probability.
Yeah, excited isn't the word. The market should be excited too. Here's our late but coming out September read on the Consumer Price Index. Headline number up 0.3.
Bitfarms 13%.
1/10 cooler than both rearview mirror
9,
and
10%.
what we were expecting. And if we look at the stripping out of food and energy known as core, it comes in also a bit less than expected, up 0.2. We're expecting up 0.3. Our last look was up 0.3. Here's the Moneyball numbers. Year over year, 3%. And even though it's less than the 3.
All right, Amit enjoyed my response. Thank you, Amit.
0.1 we were expecting. It's hotter than 2.9. And after all, it's got a 3.
Yeah, guys, this is insane. I want to talk about this real quick. Somebody said my TLT calls are looking good and making money today. TLT is up 0.32%. I said this before. I am adding to this fucking position as long as it doesn't scream up too high. And I'm doing that because it not only is a hedge, but on a day like today, it's green, bitches. It's fucking green. It's up 0.42%, making back almost all of its losses from yesterday. And again, it's in a breakout zone. I'm telling you this bitch can move 21%, and I'm telling you the options contracts I'm in can do 15x that. So this could get fun. This could get real fun. And then we got ARKG. It's up 2% today after being up 2.65% yesterday. So many things popping off, guys. You could pretty much own fucking anything right now that is heavy pro-growth. It doesn't have to have actual fundamentals or any hope of a future, and you will be making money today. Congratulations to the brave. Because if you're a coward, if you run away from shit, especially at the wrong time, and I can tell you when the right time is. It ain't now. But I will tell you, Tesla is actually down. Well, I mean, can we just talk about Tesla for a second? So, like, what do you expect, bro? What do you expect? This thing didn't even come close to filling in the gap. It just said, fuck you, and then shot up. And now it's back testing the previous resistance zone. And I'd probably have to, this is a different time frame. It's daily. It's probably the 4 hour I have this thing sitting on. But it's basically back testing this before going higher. It'll probably be higher 2 fucking day. Matej. God, I'm so bad with foreign names. I need to work on it. Anyway, thank you for becoming a member. I'm glad to have you here. You want Tesla 600? What about 900? Why so low? I think 900 is coming by mid next year, man. I'm not kidding. I think that's exactly what's happening. Let's just zoom out here. Let's zoom out here a little bit and just look at these phases, right? Let's look at the phases, guys. The phases matter. All phases matter, okay? Especially the most relevant ones. Phase 1, people call this one phase. I think that's bullshit. I mean, maybe, but we had different things here. The X delivery occurred, And then we finally got a breakout once that started to ramp and do better. But then the Model 3 deliveries started. They were a fucking disaster. It fucked us hard. Then anticipation into the Y, once the Model 3 got better, and then shut up, Mountain Off Grid. I'm kidding. But then when the Y got better, people got excited that production actually started. They got scared and thought it was going to be a Model 3 moment where they were building a tents, but it wasn't. And then we just took off. Went up 3,600% in less than 2 years. But so again, but it doesn't matter if it was 2 different phases or one. I mean, it really fucking doesn't, right? It doesn't matter at all. But phase 4, we are starting it right now. And that time frame, guys, really brings us back to like October of 2020. And so I'm just going to argue here that this is a big deal. It's really like this, right? This is a big deal. We got into this range. We've just sat in it for fucking ever. And now we're breaking above it and back testing support and looking strong and have fundamentals out the wazoo. People who thought that the earnings call was bad, I think they just get confused by who Elon Musk is. There are some times where he knows that he's firing on all cylinders. And you know what he's going to do? He's not going to give you a big shiny show. He's not going to dance in the fucking screen for you. He does that more often when things aren't great, but he's trying to sell you on the future. When he is somber and he's just telling it like it is, that man knows that it's on fire. And so when he's quiet and when he sounds, and he's not being overly political, because he does have a different way there too, where he definitely falls into that camp, and then it's just let it all burn. I get it. I'm the same way. Like, it's like, all right, fuck it, we're going down with the ship, kind of. But this is exciting. This is exciting. How can you not be excited? Jeremy. Oh yeah, Jeremy. Did you guys see Jeremy? We'll skip the boats real quick. We got to show you Jeremy. So I had a post the other day that had Jeremy in it. I'm just gonna find it real quick. God, I post a lot. Oh yeah, right here. I want to thank you guys as a community, because I didn't have to put Jeremy's face on there. That was done for me. So thank you, cute dog. But I put, don't worry, holy smokas. We still love you despite your obvious political bias against Elon Musk over the last year. He hasn't blocked me yet. I find that impressive. I don't really follow him, though. I put, hope your shorts are doing well. And then we've got Jeremy getting fucked by a bull. And I think I'm going to keep that one. That one's special to me. So we're going to use that again. All right. Let's keep going. So yeah, Optimus, good. Optimus, good, guys. Just remember that. Did we ever let Rick Schmantelli finish? Look at him. He's so angry. He just wants to finish. This is where the ADD comes into play. And if I'm ever jumping around from topics, guys, just steer me in the right fucking direction, because I can't help it. I'm wired that way, and I've got more input than any human being should ever have to look at monce.
3 handle. And if we look at CPI year over year ex food and energy, it also comes in at 3%.
Yeah, Jeremy's not bad. I'm just mad at Jeremy. I'm sorry, Rick. I'm just mad at Jeremy. Why am I mad at Jeremy? Because he's acting like a complete douchebag to the person who made him rich. And I can't stand people like that. I can't stand people who get success that is partially because of other people. Like Meet Kevin, right? Why did he rise to fame? It was his house shit, and it was Tesla. He made 30x. It's very easy to be good at investing when you make 30x off of one fucking company. Jeremy is that same kind of person, right? Jeremy, I went from Kinko's to this. Don't get me wrong. I actually like Jeremy. He goes through the financials. He's learned a lot. I think he's really smart. But I think he's showing obvious political bias. I have no idea why he's done that. But he's turned into one of these little bitches, right? One of these little bitches who will just attack. He's the Fred Lambert. He's the fucking Ross. He's all these dipshits. He's all these Ross Gerber Kawasaki. He's all these assholes that aren't actually good at this shit. Meet Kevin now. He's just living his life and talks about investing, but he mostly just shits on Trump on his videos, or at least that's the image. Jeremy now is, tattooed chef and all of his other fucking failures. And don't get me wrong, people have those. I've had plenty of my own. But I don't know. I have so little respect, and I'm more happy to shit on people that have such little respect for the person who helped make them rich. And I will always be loyal to Elon Musk as long as he's a good person. And maybe they think he's not a good person, but how dumb do you have to be? How dumb do you have to be to not be able to weigh the good that he's put into the world towards any perception you might have of the bad? How dumb and ignorant and fucking stupid do you have to be? It's pretty bad.
We're also expecting 3.1, but last look was 3.1, so it cooled a bit. So we're seeing interest rates move down and stocks move up. You may be asking.
We're building up our strategic reserve, U.S. to buy 1 million oil barrels for the strategic reserve. So we're going to be filling that up, preparing for war, and also setting a minimum price floor for oil so that we produce more. We're ramping up, guys.
Why? An easy answer. Because it's less than expectations. Is it less than the Fed's target of 2%?
Oh, thanks, money.
No.
Thanks,
Which,
money,
in my opinion, that fact will rise above all the issues of the day at some point. But yes, we do see rates moving a bit lower. Ultimately, this is a very important number because the market, without any data points, has been pretty much viewed on the notion that the labor market is slowing, and that really is a good thing if you're looking for the Fed cycle to continue its rate cuts. Now, how does this figure in? I can't speak for Fed officials.
I keep forgetting I can speed up now.
If you really have an agnostic view and you look at these numbers, the last thing you think about is we're closing in on the Fed's target. Joe and the gang, back to you.
This is beautiful. So right now, the 10-year was at 4% because people had worries before the market that for some reason inflation is picking up and the government is just destroying the economy. But it's not. And again, we've redrawn this line to be more accurate. I had it up here, but that's really not the right view. You could see just how consistent, resistance, support. And now it's going to try and be supported like the 3.83 range, right? But we're rolling over. We're rolling over dramatically. I think that by early spring, early spring, probably like early Q2, we will see the twos. I think we're going to see it on the 10 and the 30. But that's all rolling over now. And let's look at the 30. The 30 is beautiful. And the 30 wouldn't be the twos, but I mean lower rates. It's going to be similar. We're at our last line of support on the weekly time frame, the last one, and we're getting ready to break through it. We just dropped another 0.44%. We're sitting at 4.56, and this thing's going to roll over hard, guys. We've been in the same range forever. Everybody was talking about how hyperinflation. Remember hyperinflation? Remember stagflation? All those narratives are already destroyed now. They're finally done, and we can see that we were at 5.16%. And again, the mortgage rate was higher than that. The mortgage rate has this excess premium in it that's going to get dissolved right now. And then at the same time, we've got yields really lowering on their own. And we're getting ready to roll over. And we're getting 2 rate cuts into the end of the year. And we're getting at least one by early. We'll have 125 bips. Or 1.25% that we're going to see that's been a flip in like what will be a period of 6 months in the interest rate. That's going to help ignite some fire behind us. So I'm very excited with where we are right now on the 30 and the 10. I'm excited. We're right about TLT, guys. If CleanSpark or other things are making just way too much money, if you're making way too much money in the weeks and months ahead, you should be slowly purchasing. And again, there's probably other contracts, maybe even ones into 2028 at 110 target maybe or something. I don't know. I've got to look at a bunch of them. I haven't really looked recently, but I'm a buyer. I'm a buyer, man. How good is it going to feel? This bitch is going up. TLT is going up. It's up 0.5% today. The contracts could be up 5% or more today on a day when stocks are doing well. This is a hedge, and it can fucking still make you shit tons of money. And I think both are true. So I want to funnel as much money into the thing that can make me asymmetric money, whether the economy is doing bad or good. Doesn't that seem smart? And now even Michael Howell's telling you to do it. So let's go. Yeah, I'll take anything that's going up. Reminder to hit the like button. I agree. There's 1,200 people here, guys. All I'm asking is that you guys talk and chat, throw in some good comments, like the video at the bare minimum, like and share if you can. Like that's You don't have to pay for anything. You could just do that. What about TMF? I showed you guys TMF. I don't like TMF as much. Why don't I like TMF as much? It is because TMF, when I was looking at the returns here, like yesterday, TMF was up 0.6, or today I should say, is up 0.68%. So you're getting that, again, it's a 3x the fund. Let me just say this. A while ago, Free Flim unblock me. Free Flim. Did I block you, David? Give me your full handle if I did. But so TLT was up like on that day, it was up like 0.77. That's what it's looking like it might be up this morning, maybe, if things keep going the way they're going. TMF was up like 3.5%. So you were getting like more than 3x. Like you were getting a really good return that day. But I was up 15 to 20% in my calls. And I think 15% is pretty accurate. So I want the thing that can give me 15 to 20x. I think that's a much better deal. And you can apply less capital to that than you would TMF, but still have an equally, or if not better, hedge. Doesn't that make sense? It's kind of what I was thinking. Anyway, we got great CPI data. Bitcoin is actually back testing now above peak volumes, going back quite a ways to like June, July of this year. So that's cool. Actually, no, July. That's cool. We like that. We don't hate that. Why is Mara lagging the other miners? I think the narrative, I think part of it is Mike Alfred. But I don't know if it's lagging too badly today. I mean, it's up 3.6%. You can't be angry at it. It hasn't done as well. It was a bigger container. I don't think their setup is as good as CleanSpark or as good as Cypher, or as good as Iron, or even Bitfarms, because Bitfarms is tiny. And look at the caps between these things. I mean, Iron is like 15 billion. Mara is 7.12, but I think the setup and actual fundamentals behind CleanSpark are better, and it's not 7.12 billion, it's 4.97. And Bitfarms is tiny. Bitfarms is 2.3. Again, I don't know how viable that company is, but I do think it can bounce really hard as everybody bids everything up. And Cypher is up 16% in 2 days. It is a 6.79 billion, so its market cap is actually also way more than CleanSpark. So I think CleanSpark is kind of a sleeper that I like the most, but I do have Mara too, because I think Mara is still going up to 50. And I think CleanSpark's going above 30. Do you still like SMCI? I don't know. I'm in it. I think my calls are like January 2027. So I think I'm still hot on this market. Is SMCI the best player in it? No, but the calls can outperform greatly. And I do think that SMCI, if I'm looking at the ticker here, is forming what I would call a bullish pennant on a really long time frame. If we're looking at the monthly here, it's almost like a bullish pennant. I don't know exactly where it'll land. I'll just assume this here. But you can kind of see how, I don't know. Or this is like slightly a bullish pennant, but what it's going to turn into. Here, I got to actually probably do this to be more accurate. There we go. But I think what this is probably going to turn into is it'll go higher, and then it'll be something like this, where it will be an ascending triangle, and then we'll break out higher. But I think it's still going up because the entire sector is. Do I think it's the best play? No, probably not. But it's not too crazy of a market cap. It's only at 28 billion. It's more of like the build out kind of people, and I think there's going to be a lot of build out. And they are working towards better efficiencies. I don't know. I got to check. I didn't watch the earnings call. I need to be straightforward too. I didn't watch it. I just got highlights, so I should probably actually watch it. Thoughts on long-term potential of defense companies? I've been looking at all of those, like Red Cat and Kraken. I've been looking at all of them. I need to keep doing more research. The one I love the most is Anduril right now. I mean, Palantir is great, but it's also such a huge market cap compared to where it used to be. I mean, I was pitching it in the 7s. That was a long time ago. What is it at now? 183 in pre-market. So I think it's pretty played out. It's going to be hard to get like another 300% or 400 or 4x or something. It's going to be hard to do that. But Anduril is one that I've got to figure out. I want to at least have $1 million, maybe $2 into Anduril soon. I think that would be a great hedge by the end of this year, maybe. Anduril is so amazing. They're pre-IPO. I'm willing to pay a premium. I just need to find the best source for the deal because I don't like to get fucked. But I'm also willing to pay a premium before the IPO, and I'm willing to buy more into the IPO too. I'll put millions into Palmer Luckey. He's brilliant. What's your estimated price target for Metaplanet? Yeah, let's look at it. How are they doing so we're up 10% in overnight in China or Japan because they're in China. But that's a hell of a bounce. I mean, look at this. Tell me this doesn't scream bottom. Is this the best weekly candle so far going back to June, the beginning of June? Yeah, it looks like it. This looks like a tweezer bottom. This looks like the opposite of what's happening with gold. And if we do get back up into this trend line up here, guys, or get back above this peak volume over here, if we get back above 612, it's beautiful. But right now, what I'm telling you is conservatively, and I got to keep these where the gaps are, I'm telling you conservatively, I think you can get 163 to 261%. 250 maybe, probably like here, this peak in volume, if you just want to be really safe. 230. So I'm saying 163 to 230% conservatively. It could be much more than that. This thing has fallen so hard. So hard. I think it could actually do way better. I think you could get even 300, maybe 400% off of it. Because once the hype really starts, that's when you kind of know. Once the narrative is like that I'm talking about where we bottomed and this is the thing that people are starting to shovel money into. And if you think about it, guys, miners, let's look at Cypher. I think this narrative is starting to play out. I think we're in the boom in miners. I've said they're leaders, right? I've said they're leaders, and they have been. But you can't argue that Cypher hasn't entered parabola. You can't argue that with me. It was $1.85, and that was in March of this year, and it's been 22. It was $1.85, it's been 22. If you're up over 1,000% on something, it is in parabola. Okay? You're in it. So, and I think what will happen is we'll flow from Iron and Cypher in like the next several weeks as they scream higher. They'll eventually reach their blow off top. I've said this before. I actually think what's happening for Iron next is we're going into discovery. And I think it could go as high as 200. I did a post on that. That's 217% higher than where we're at right now, up over 1,000% from their recent low at the beginning of the year. This thing would be up 3,600%. You can't tell me motherfuckers aren't going to think that this thing is overextended and that they should cash some out and move into other things that haven't done as well. So I think we're at the start of the bullish divergence that's happening with the Bitcoin treasury companies. I think you can see that in things like Metaplanet. I think you can see that with things like Strive, or my favorite affectionately known ass and titties, no longer, unfortunately. We closed a large portion of the gap over here, and then now we're above peak volumes going back years. What is this, 2023? Let's see. Let's go back way back. What time frame do we go back to? The entirety of the existence of this company. We are sitting right at peak volumes for these guys, getting ready to break above it. After dropping, how much? And guys, again, we sold up here. I sold up here. I got the fuck out up here, and I told you why. And you guys got out too, right? If you were smart and you listened to me, you got out too. And then this thing dropped 94% and is now still down almost 93. And you've got a gap above you. You got a gap. This is just like easy money. This is Strive, guys. This isn't like some fucking company that doesn't have reputable history and backing, right? This is a company where corporations, other investment funds could easily pump this shit as institutional, right? So I'm saying, what am I saying about this? I'm saying it can go up 624%. I only have like 65,000 in it or some shit. but I think it could get much better. So I'm putting money into ass and titties, right? We're getting in there, and I'm putting money into TLT. I'm looking towards ARGT as a long-term play. I'm looking towards the next things, the Bitcoin treasuries, and adding more into those, but not with leverage, just stock. Because again, I'm trying to reduce leverage. But there's so much good stuff. There's so much yumminess sitting in front of us. I've never been more excited. Yeah, we're sitting so good right now, guys. Look at this. Iron up 16%, 17% in 2 fucking days. If you bought that dip, you're just going to benefit, and it's still going to lead. But these other miners are coming up with it, right? These other miners are coming up with it, guys. Good things are sitting in front of us. All right, I got to read chat here. We got to get caught up with chat. How's chat doing? Will TS WCF have the same story? I think so. Don't you? Let's look. What are we doing? What are we doing right now in the UK? Up 3%. Not great. But it's down 90% from its high. It's establishing that support level. Look at this. Support. Broke down, kind of like did the ARC-G move, right? Or what Palantir has done. What everything that kind of breaks through the bottom and then gets back to support does. And it looks like it's finding support. I would argue again, it looks like it's finding support. And so I think this is a good sign for it. And I think, again, conservatively, 245%, 366%, somewhere in there for SWC. It could even do better. If you bought when I did, you're pretty fucked. I mean, I don't know exactly where I'm sitting on my stuff. Let me see. I have some other accounts where I bought it. I don't think they're very happy. I don't think they are. Let's see. This one isn't showing me the percentage. I'll try and find it. You grabbed Iron yesterday? And don't regret it? Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Toby One says, Paul Tudor Jones has said he expects federal funds rate to be around 2.5 or 2.75 within a year. Is he in? Yeah, no, dude, I totally agree. Yeah, I agree. That makes sense. Did he just say that? Pascal, Jesse, it is a small play, but CK out MPPTF, a DAT, who also owns, is accumulating SpaceX shares. I don't like... Those are very different things. I don't like the confusion in that, but it might be all right. Unblocked. Oh, is that what you want me to do? Is that you? DW Flim. Did I block you? All right, let me go over here. Working on it. Is that you? Must be. Sorry about that. Don't know why. Apologize. There we go. Done. Joel, I sold my original bag at 20, so I'm with you at 550. Oh, cool, man. Good job. Any interest in getting into open now that Mike Alfred is in? I saw that. I actually have some open. I don't know if I have a lot of interest into buying more right now. It is an interesting play. It might, speculatively, it might do well. Still. Long Invest unblock me. I don't know if he watches the show. Sorry, bro. Kyle Ferretti. Joel, I sold my original bag at 20. Oh, no, that was you. I already read that. Let's see. Anything else? Marco says, hey, Jesse, when you pull up a chart and the symbol in the right upper left is cut by your image and not readable, can you either shrink or tiny bit? Yeah, but you can also see in the right. You can see, I guess you can't see too well. Let me look at that. I can fix that. That's a good point. Oh, my image is too big. I see what you mean. Yeah. Let me fix this real quick. Give me 1 second. Give me a second. I can fix this pretty quick, I think. Even where we are, can I fix this? I think I can. I feel like I can. Is that it? Nope. Sorry, I haven't done played around with this in ages in OBS. No, it's locked down. Okay, I'll try and I'll shrink my image up a little bit here or pull that over. You know what? Maybe I can do this. Let me do this real quick. Yeah. Did that fix it? No, it didn't. Either way, I've got to actually go in and edit it later. All right. I will work on that. You sold Iron at 1335. Well, that was a while ago. Congrats. It's at 6070 now. Did you cover backed? No. I don't really look at backed. I think I do have. Do I have it up, pulled up? Problem is I can only keep so many charts up at once. Let's see how it's doing, though. Give me a second. This is another one Mike Alfred's pushing. That's why people are asking about it. He is on the board of this company. Up 10%. Looks good. It's not a huge market cap. I don't know a lot more about it. Could be a great option. Jesse, isn't your office hot as crap with all those monitors? No, they're all OLEDs. OLEDs run cooler, so not too bad. Would you exit Mara and move to Iron or CleanSpark? I would, if I was gonna exit, I would move to CleanSpark, but I think they all go up, which is why I own them. Lynn Alden, well, I don't own Iron anymore, is also on the board of backed. Yeah, that's another good reason. I mean, she's great. Any thoughts on BT technicals, please? Is that Bit Digital? I can't remember off the top of my head. It's so many of these fucking things. Let me look. It's tested up a lot and come back to earth. It's a small market cap. It's only 1.2 billion, dude. It's going up. If we just do this, let's do this. Here's my guess, right? Like, let's look here at, I mean, this is really like this, honestly. Pull this down to here. Try and be very honest with our zones here, and then maybe give it a little bit of bearishness. I think it's pretty easy for us to hit the all-time high on here. 575 looks fucking easy. It wouldn't surprise me if this thing got to 8. It could go, its parabola could be weirder because it's such a small cap. But I don't know what the actual fundamentals behind Bit Digital are. I don't know. It just all depends if people pump things, guys. There's so much. You get to a point where nothing that would normally matter for valuation matters because the hype is so real, okay? So as long as you realize that none of it really matters and it's all going up, you'll do fine. I mean, just look at all the Bitcoin treasuries. I just told you that Iron is up 8.66 in pre-market. Cypher is up 8.61. Bitfarms is up 12.12. Mara is up. People are complaining about Mara because it's only up almost 4. And CleanSpark is up almost 6. I mean, it's all doing well, right? Can we just be real? Nobody cares. They're just buying all of it. What did we do Solt yet? Wait, did we do Solt yet? I never do Solt. You never look at the technicals for Solt. You look at the underlying. We could do that real quick. Let's look at the ETH BTC ratio, then we'll look at Ethereum. ETH BTC looks like it had its bottom over here on this fib. To me, I'd say in the next month, it's going to break out. I think what we're actually probably going to hit is like up here towards the green, the golden retracement zone. But even if we get over here and then peter off around 0.5, that's fine too. It's going up. ETH is going to have its moment. Bare minimum, what is ETH going to do? Bare minimum, what are we thinking? We're thinking bare minimum 6,400-ish, right? Good place to maybe exit out of some of your BMNU. Which is a multiplier to the underlying. And then we're thinking it can go as high as 10,000, the .618. It could go even higher, but I mean, that's a good number. Don't be upset about 10,000, a 200% almost increase from where we're at. When do we think TSWCF will run? I think they're going to lag. I think the miners are going first. I said that already. And then I think next comes the treasury companies. And I think the treasury companies are building their divergence right now and showing that they're the neess thing to go. And Ass and Titties is a great representation of that. Metaplanet's a great representation. Smarter Web, all these charts that we just looked at are representative of establishing a bottom. And they're going to come next after the miners are done, after that HPC play has played out. Now, let's look at Solana. Solana, we've got our large shaft and balls pattern, right? And we love this one. It's beautiful. It's getting ready to get above the first fib. If we look at just really this cycle, let's look at volumes here. Let's take out, I won't say this cycle even. Let's just go back to the end of 2023, beginning of 2024. Let's cut out some of that. Let's get just 2024 and 2025, right? So we're well beneath, or we're well above peak volumes on this time frame. Let's chop off a little more and just get to our cock and balls, super wide mode. And let's look at this on volumes. It'll take a second, but this will readjust. And look at what we did. So under this shorter time frame, going back to the beginning of this year, end of last, we have established our pattern right at the bottom of the testicles. And now we're getting ready to get above the fib. And once we get back up to here in the 250 range for Solana, it's game over, dude. It's game over because the shaft tells us that we're going to 600. And what's not to love? So anyway, for anybody, somebody was asking about cock and balls earlier. This is it. Okay, it's the inverse Head and Shoulders, but I like my version better. So what's not to love in that? So if you wanted to exit early out of some of your sold position, if you think there's going to be a lot of volatility, the place to do that would probably be at the 400s. And then dump that and then buy it if it drops hard and then maybe buy more until you get up to the 600s and then make sure you're fully out of any leverage by that point. And again, you could always buy lesser amounts than what you sold. That way you still feel the winning and kicking ass while you're deleveraging yourself at the same time, but still getting to enjoy some of the rides, okay? This is kind of the fun part. And again, hopefully you're only doing this in a tax-advantaged account, like an IRA or something where you don't get penalized until you withdraw funds. Hoping that the same for Bit Digital and Metaplan. Yeah, dude, it's all going up. It's all going up. People worry so much about things going up. They chase. And when you chase, you're chasing the thing that's already went up. And then that thing stops going, and then you chase the next thing. And so you can actually lose money in a wonderful bull market by just being a chaser and not being patient. I would highly encourage you to be patient. Don't be a chaser. That is not the right play. I scared from greed. You mean scared from, or happy from fear, right? That's what you mean. Because fear, we're at extreme fear, on the edge of extreme fear, into fear now, whether you're looking at crypto or not. We're not even at neutral territory. So what you are right now is actually bullish, because that's what you are in this range. And you're going to be bearish over here, right? That's what you meant, Victor. You meant that you're going to be scared at extreme greed. I'm sure that's what you meant. So you're going to get more scared when we're over here. You're going to get scared when we've reached over into this territory. That's when you're going to be getting the fuck out, right? That's our plan, guys. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. If you're not a part of this, and you're doing something else, you're probably going to lose out if you're not a part of this. All right, let's keep going. We haven't really just been yapping. Smaller AI infra plays, everything's going to go up. Whatever, as long as AI is hot, that'll be hot, right? And I was saying in this post, we have our North Star. Just to remember to sell by the time it passes, or you'll see what the sell to the news event looks like at the end of cycle. I think you still have to assume that we have an end of cycle blow off top. Now, whether or not it's a short-lived blow off top and then we start going back up again, I don't know with that yet. But you have to, when you have a bubble and you have a tweezer top, just ask gold, you're done for a bit, okay? That's just how shit works. But will it be short-lived, and will it be another continuation quicker? I think that's very possible. But we have our North Star. This is our blow-off top, most likely, at the end of the year. End of the year is longer than the last couple of cycles, so, or at least the last cycle, because the Fed raised rates at the most aggressive rate in history. So maybe, again, December, January, maybe that's not a horrible thing. But then you're going to have a bunch of headwinds heading into 2026. You're going to have liquidity looking like it's going to slow down because we're going to have large amounts of debt to refinance as a government. So you just have to use your brain, okay? We'll reevaluate later, but we're planning for a blow-off top because we're not stupid. Alanosis, not sure if saw Trump announced terminated negotiations with Canada. Yeah, I saw that. That's funny. Sorry, Canada. There's a bunch of Canadians in here. I feel bad for you guys. Please hit the like, though, before you leave Canada. Please hit the like. All right, so I got to clean my mic. We know that. I wonder, what are people saying to me? They're like, dude, your mic is fucking disgusting. Elon ain't the only alien. Thanks. The command center. You guys are great. Nice setup. What trading software? Holy smokes. Do you see this, though? Oh. This is great. A human quantum computer. Intense. Yes, all those things are true. You're right. All right, let's keep going. And thank you guys. It looks like a bunch of you. Some of you guys still do this fucking post. I just want to reiterate. I'm asking you to do this one. The one above. All right, let's keep going. We got more stuff, though. I don't have my bookmarks all fancy, but we'll have some fun here. Phil Holloway put, it looks like a couple of these fishermen, quote unquote, looked up at the drone as their last moment. I wonder what was going through their minds. I said they were probably just looking for their fishing poles, right? We've got Clean Spark. I told you guys in a previous post that we had the fib as support, that we had a 7-year trend line, that we had at the very bare minimum peak in volumes around the 16 range. Today, I am happy to report that we did get to the 16 range. We found support on it. We popped back above the fib. And now, today, we're looking to get above the trend line. And if I'm looking, it looks like we're right near that trend line at the 1880 level. What did I say in the last post? I mean, essentially, I said 1880, right? Because I said this is a strong level of support right around 1868, whatever. So we're right back to where we were, just like I said we were going to. Cool. That's cool. What else we got here? Their economy is collapsing pre-COVID. If you travel, oh yeah, this is China. So I put, isn't China beautiful? A coal-fired power plant in China's Sichuan province. Doesn't that look just amazing, guys? Doesn't this make you go like, oh, I would love to live in China? But this is the best part, okay? Beast had a great comment here. He said, their economy is collapsing. Pre-COVID, if you traveled to Paris or Rome or Thailand, the Chinese were everywhere, flush with cash. I remember sitting at the karaoke club in Paris, and a Chinese tourists were pulling out briefcases filled with cash and chucking thousands of euros at the singers and dancers like it was nothing. Now, if you go to Paris or any major tourist destination, there are 0 Chinese people. I was in Rome for a month, and there was literally more Americans in Rome than actual Italians. No Chinese or Asians in general. Pretty obvious to know which countries' economies are doing well by just looking at who the main tourists are in a given country. It's basically Americans supporting the entire world. And we're doing this as our dollar is being devalued, and we have less money to spend in other countries, and we're still the tourists of the world. Tell me, motherfuckers, who's winning the trade war? I can tell you who I believe is winning the trade war. You've got Gavin Newsom trying so hard to be cool. So hard. Let's just for 1 second. I'm sorry. Sorry to the liberals. Got to.
The hell is going on in this country? None of this is normal. You will be seeing.
This is not AI, and this is not a joke.
On my Patriot site, new knee pads that I'll be sending out, the new signature series knee pads for all these CEOs, for the University of Virginia that I'll add to the list today, for bending their knee.
He's giving them knee pads. Trump gives hats to people all the time and whatever the fuck he wants to do because he's insane. And now this man, this clone wannabe piece of shit, is getting knee pads for people that bend a knee to Donald Trump. Maybe he thinks it'll go viral. I don't know. He's such a sad, pathetic fucking person. Last night, this motherfucker on his YouTube channel had a special guest. Who was that special guest? Barack fucking Obama. They were 10 minutes in, and there were 265 live viewers. 265. Guys, how many people are here right now? I'm better than Gavin Newsom and Barack Obama combined. Isn't that fucking cool? This is real. My buddy Stephen Mark Ryan, my Australian brother from another mother, he's got such an attitude, but again, so do I. This is the whitehouse.gov website. I got to show this to you. I'm sorry. I got to. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. Look at this. This is whitehouse.gov. Major events timeline. Muslim Brotherhood visit. Bill Clinton scandal. Look at this. Look at this shit. This is our government, man. This is the timeline we're in. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my God. I love our president. I hated him a year and a half ago, but now I love him. I put sorry Canada again. So this is the comment that they were talking about with Trump. And who was it? JT said, I was in Japan last month and it was all Americans. We're winning, guys. This is fucking hilarious. This Canadian looking at Brian goes, so basically we're screwed. Donald Trump put, the Ronald Reagan Foundation has just announced that Canada has fraudulently used an advertisement, which is fake, featuring Ronald Reagan speaking negatively about tariffs. The ad was for $75,000. They only did this to interfere with the decision of the U.S. Supreme Court and other courts about, he said, tariffs are very important to the national security and economy in the USA. Based on their egregious behavior, all trade negotiations with Canada are hereby terminated. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Trump. The world doesn't skip a beat and markets are up today. Canada is fucked. You will pay the price for your incompetency and who you're voting for. I'm sorry. You should vote for better people in the future. I think it'll behoove you to do that. Mike, thank you for being a member. You can talk and chat now. Try and get caught up on more stuff. I told you earlier in that Fed doesn't matter anymore. Oh yeah. So this is Endgame. If you guys want all the dirty details, Endgame Macro had a long diatribe. And again, I eat this shit up. Most of you cannot or don't want to. But you should, if you want to learn more. Endgame Macro, he's a little bearish. That's okay sometimes. It's okay to have people with different views. I still think you'll get a lot fundamentally from him if you read him. Jeffrey wants to investigate ballroom donors. Great. What a cuck. Young, hey Jesse, do you think fundamentals or liquidity is more important? I think both. I think all of it's important. All of it moves the gauge, right? We have a gauge of a this is the truth meter. It's bullshit at the bottom. It's truth at the top. All these different things add up. They have different weights and they tell us the truth. And I think global liquidity is going to be a major concern. I don't have the charts right in front of me right now. Endgame Macro probably does. But we have, and Michael Howell definitely does, we have a lot of debt to refinance in 2026. And so could there be a narrative for a year where 2026 is bad and people are buying bonds for safety and because everything has had a record top and blown its fucking load? Yes. That 100% can happen. We can totally blow our fucking load. I hope people realize that. And we're probably going to. And you should have a plan for that. Let's keep going down here. Oh, we got beautiful China. We got the whitehouse.gov. We got sorry Canada. We already talked about that. We got JP Morgan, 4T banking giant. JP Morgan now accepts Bitcoin as collateral. Clients can now use BTC to secure loans. Isn't this hilarious? This guy called Bitcoin fraudulent and it was used by criminals. And now you can get a loan for your fucking house with it. That can be dangerous. I wouldn't necessarily borrow against Bitcoin unless you have a vast amount of liquidity and you're using a small amount. You just want to make sure you don't get liquidated, right? You don't want them taking all your fucking deposit. Ash, Jesse, you're crushing it for all of us this year. Thank you. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it, man. Thank you, Ash. Dario, I need to make more money. Canada just doesn't feel like it has a future. I know, brother. I know. I'm sorry. C-List, my number 2, said, I think that they have thank you for your attention to this matter on their clipboard or on some template. That's funny. We voted for the conservative, but we got fucked by the media and D-boomer that listened to them so much. I don't know what you're saying, French. Mike, thanks, Jesse. I'm Canadian. Yeah, never mind. You're in Canada. Okay, makes sense. Mike says, thanks, Jesse. I'm from Canadian. We're so fucked. I love your work. Young says, hey, Jesse, do you think fundamentals or liquidity? Oh, that was you. What's your framework deciding the risk? So I'm always looking at, Ash, thank you for the 10 memberships, dude. Here's what I'm always looking at. I'm always looking at macro first. It's the bottom layer of the pyramid. And then right above that are the fundamentals of what's going on in as the world as a whole, right? Like you got your macro view, you got the fundamentals of like your economy, kind of that level, national view. And then you've got your specific investments that you're a part of and their fundamentals. And then you have another layer that's the financials of whatever you're looking at. And then you have the technical layer. But the most important part is the bottom of the pyramid. And all of those things hold weight going all the way up to the top. And the technicals just help you with buying and selling and kind of finding entry points for the getting in and out of the things that you're very excited about at a really broad view over a long time frame. Does that make sense? That's a lot of words. Let me know if that doesn't make sense. Coin Bureau, Swiss bank Signum and Bitcoin lender Debify launched the first bank-backed BTC loan platform with user-held custody for maximum security. Cool. My Anthony Pompliano, my Italian brother from another mother. I hope your wife is doing good, my friend. She is a sweetie too. Everybody loves. What is your wife's name? God dang it. What is Anthony Pompliano's wife's name? It escapes me right now. She's wonderful, though. I love her. She's got a newsletter. Anyway, my brother from another mother, let's listen to him talk about why Bitcoin continues to go up forever. Not that it won't have times where it'll draw back for a year.
Of Bitcoin is the very simple story. They are never going to stop printing money, so therefore Bitcoin will never stop going up. And if you simply think of Bitcoin as savings technology, all you have to do is go out, work hard at your job, make money, spend less than you make, and then put the extra savings into Bitcoin, and then allow Bitcoin to benefit from what we know is going to happen, which is they are never going to stop printing money. And I think that simplicity
100.
is actually very attractive to some cohort of investors. And now you see investors saying, wait a second here, this quote-unquote debasement trade means that I don't have to go do all that work. I can simply just go and buy something like Bitcoin. And I think that really maybe the story of finance of this decade is that Bitcoin is becoming the hurdle rate, right? Historically, we've looked at things like the S&P. If you go back to 2020, the S&P is up 100% since 2020. Priced in Bitcoin is down 90%. All of the returns that people are talking about in traditional finance, most of them are negative because no one can beat Bitcoin. And so if you can't beat it, then we just say you got to buy it. And I think that's what a lot of investors are starting to do. Bitcoin.
I 100% agree. Guys, we have something good going on right now. Oh, but it's the wrong station. Let me go down. We want to go to, where the fuck is it? I got to look it up. 1 second here. Maybe this is why I had that other one up. What show is this? Fox Business. There we go. We got a good one going on right now. So I'm going to click live here, I think. Let's see. How do I just fucking get into this, bro? Jesus.
Slow down, President Trump.
1 second. 1 second. We got Hassett talking. And I can't miss this. The whole reason we're listening right here, guys, is that we have some really good speakers.
The coming days.
Not good news. All right. Thanks so much, Grady.
That's why we're paying attention to Fox Business more.
Kevin Hassett joining me right now. Kevin, I believe you suggested that the shutdown will be over this week. Well, it's not. At this moment, it's not. So what happened?
Well, the discussion I had earlier in the week on a different show was just this, that many moderate Democrats said that because of the No Kings rally, that they couldn't open the government ahead of that because they'd get too much pressure from the left. And so the hope was that now that rally was over, that they would come to the table and negotiate something. And the fear, which appears to be realized, was that they were kind of fibbing about the fact that it was about the No Kings rally, and they're just going to...
We'll talk about the AAII right after this. I actually had that survey pulled up a second ago.
Keep it closed for as long as they can bear it. And it looks like that's kind of the path we're on right now, and it's really regrettable.
Yes, I don't see the point, frankly. Kevin, the consumer price inflation report came out today. Prices up exactly 3% over the last 12 months. You happy with that?
Yeah, it was a really good report for a number of reasons. The first is that it went down a little bit from August 3.1 to 3. It was a little bit below expectation, also about 3.1 to 3. But there were some special factors that drove the price.
If you guys think this is the best pre-morning show out there, please fucking hit like and share. We're 4 minutes away from the open.
This is up, especially on the top line number. There was a big refinery shutdown that made the price of gas go up a lot, and that's going to be a big negative for October because we know gas prices have gone way down. And so our expectation is that inflation is decelerating, and that'll take all the pressure off the Fed to keep on the path that they're on.
Got it. Next one, sir. Trump announced all trade talks with Canada have been called off because of an alleged fake ad that showed Ronald Reagan bad-mouthing tariffs. Okay, the president's angry about this. He immediately just, no more talks with Canada. But where do we go from here?
Well, I mean, the president, I'm sure, has his reasons. There have been a lot of talks with Canada. I've been involved in some of them, and I think the president, probably more than anything, is frustrated with the progress that he's making with Canada.
And look how nobody
when you're frustrated,
cares.
Timeout is the right call.
Nobody cares.
The president's saying no talks with Canada. I would guess that at some point between now and the end of his term, he'll talk to Canada again. But yes, right now, I think there's been frustration with the behavior of the Canadians, the demeanor of the Canadians, the positions of the Canadians, and so it's probably a good time to take a break for a while.
I think what gets to a lot of people is we've got this tariff turmoil, and we've got a government shutdown now in its 4th week, but the economy doesn't seem to be in bad shape because of it, and nor does the market. So what do you think is the exact state of the economy right now?
Right. Well, we know that in the second quarter we got almost 4% growth. We know that Atlanta Fed GDP now is almost 4% growth. Now, I get a lot of private indicators, companies I can call up CEOs and say how you do it and everything, and everybody thinks the economy is just rip roaring. And I think that the uncertainty over the tariffs is partly an explanation because what's going on is that people are rushing to onshore production here in the U.S. and it's driving a huge surge in investment in the U.S. If you go to the GDP accounts, the number that you can get, while we can still get numbers, right, would be non-defense capital goods orders and shipments. The orders are booming, the investment that we actually see, the GDP release is booming, and so everybody's onshoring production at a high rate, and that's making wages go up a lot too. And so year over year, retail sales are up now about 7%, and so people have money in their pockets and they're spending it, and they're getting jobs, and we're expanding our capacity. Industrial production is out at an all-time high, and so everything's looking great. And you kind of wonder, geez. In fact, I would say, you and I have been talking on the show for 20 years. The thing that I would say, this is not speaking necessarily as White House guy, but just as economist who's been looking at it forever, is that the things are so good that the Democrats are just trying to slow down President Trump because he's having so much success.
Looking for failure. It's a fine thing on a Friday morning when the stock market's going up across the board, and the president's top economic advisor says things are doing just fine. Kevin Hassett, it was a pleasure. Always is.
That's great to be here. Always is.
Thanks. All right, let's.
All right, cool. Sorry, I just wanted to see that. I love Hassett. He's great. So great message from Pompliano, great message from Hassett, great data on the CPI today. Vlad Tineb, we built a really nice in-app experience for the upcoming Tesla shareholder vote. Check it out. Look at this. They gave you the ability to be able to vote your shares right within the app. I love that. Vlad's great. He's my favorite vampire by far. Real quickly here. Pritzker, this is the governor of Illinois. This dipshit literally lied about the murder rate of Chicago on TV. Listen to this. Oh, no, we got 2 minutes till the bell.
Well, they're doing everything by the book. Why does Chicago have the highest murder rate of all the big cities?
Well, we are not in the top 30 in terms of our murder rate. Indeed,
well,
our murder rate it has been cut in half over the last 4 years, and every year it's gone down by double digits. And if you look at all of the violent crime over the last 4 years,
literally a chart put behind them that says the murder rate in most populated cities based on 100,000 population or more. Chicago is the worst. They have the highest murder rate in the nation. And this dipshit piece of fucking trash human being is trying to say that it's not bad there anymore and it's gotten better and they've cut it down in half. These are just fucking lies. They're just lies.
Here's a map.
They've all gone down.
U.S. cities, 17.47 per 100,000 population. Chicago is number one over Philadelphia, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Phoenix, Los Angeles, New York, and San Diego.
What I'm explaining to you is when you want to fight crime. Look, you can pull statistics up.
No, these are murders.
I'm explaining to you that our murder rate has been cut in half. And very importantly, Brett.
He's completely lying. He's a piece of shit. This guy's a fucking clown. He looks like he has a rubber face. He's fucking garbage. Mike, Jesse from Alberta, we're on our road to separating from Canada. Our GDP. Oh, I know. You guys don't even need Canada. They're literally like a succubus on you. You should leave. I think you should become a part of America. But if you don't want to, maybe we just end up getting a really good trade deal with you. I'm cool with that. Might be kind of hard for the other people on the western side. What's the province to the west of you guys? Isn't there another like one or two provinces? So yeah, it might suck to split Canada in half. Just have to fly back and forth with delivering goods between them. Oh, hey, we got the bell. Let's look here and see what's going on today. I'll just say ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Let's look at what the pre-market looked like, and then this will update in a second. It would be, yeah, I think Alberta would fit in so well with the United States. It would be great, too, because it would help with our conservative positioning. British Columbia, yeah. Yeah, and Greenland. We should just have Greenland. We will have Greenland. It's the Monroe Doctrine 2.0. This is what we're doing. Just research, understand history. You'll be fine. All right, so let's look here. What do we got going on today? We got CleanSpark up 3.9% in actual market. We've got Iron up 5.57, Mara up 3%, MicroStrategy up 2%, Cypher up 7%, EOCE up 5, SMCI up 2. Metaplanet up 8.35%. I was talking about how I started to think we were seeing a bottom. I feel like we are. Smarter Web isn't doing as well at 2.56. BMNR is up by 3.17. We have Solt up by 2.47%. Again, it got a lot of its wins yesterday. SoFi's up 3.38%. TLT's up 0.12. And ARGT's up 1.5. And ARCG is up 1.85. It looks pretty good. Let's go to look at this broader view here. I'm moving to Alberta. Yeah, you guys just all move over there before you get switched over. before they separate, just move to Alberta. That's all you got to do. Anyway, I think today's going to be a good day, guys. I'm trying to think of what else we need to go over, if anything. Pritzker's a dipshit. Jeremy's taking it in the ass. Inverse Bart is happening. Even Balaji, somebody who just has way too of a positive view about China and their ability to perform, at least, does not have a positive view on the CCP. And he said, a common pattern in history is when bloodthirsty communists are opposed by arguably corrupt nationalists. Spoiler, the communists were in each case far worse and actually more corrupt. And I would say that they lost the majority of the time to much greater nations. For the record, James E. Thorne, my Canadian brother from another mother, hopefully he lives in Alberta, says, yes, it looks like implicit yield curve control. And when the Fed cuts rates and the Treasury buys long-term bonds, the result is implicit yield curve control by lowering the front end and shrinking long-term duration supply. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Washington is engineering curve stability without admitting it. One could easily conclude that the monetary and fiscal authorities now act in quiet coordination to suppress borrowing costs. I agree. That's exactly what's happening. And that's where the incentive is. And so that's what the outcome is. Max Crypto said, this is one of the biggest signals for alt season when ISN manufacturing PMI goes positive above 50. Every time it goes above 50, alts skyrocket. Right now it's 49.1 and trending higher. You know what that means. So he's showing how we had the longest period in recent history from the end of 2022 all the way across here into 2025 where we're really staying negative. But we're getting ready to go positive. And if you look over here, when that happened in 2016, Bitcoin skyrocketed for its final leg. When that happened, or I should say, did really well, right? Like that bottom happened over here, and Bitcoin was sitting at, I don't know, it's got it by market cap, but it went up a lot, right? And then the next cycle in 2020, after the big drop, the PMI drop all the way down here was from the pandemic. Then the number shot up and did really well, and Bitcoin did really well. And now we're looking to have that exact same thing happen again. So whether it's the gold ratio, whether it's seasonality, whether it's the ISM manufacturing, whether it's the lowering of rates, there are a million reasons right now why we should see it go up a lot. This is kind of beautiful. This is this cute little girl down here who was shot by that transgender person when she was in that Christian school in Minnesota. And she was getting to see her friend. She almost died. And now she's alive. And she got to see her friends. And I think her head is shaved. I don't know if that's partially because of the injuries. But that's cool. It's cool to see that this girl is back at school and that they love her. And she's still got a life. Here's the 264 people watching, guys. Gavin Newsom's page last night while they were 20 minutes in to him talking to Barack Obama. So my viewership today, 4 times what his was with Barack Obama 20 minutes into the video. We got Dylan LeClaire of Metaplanet explains leverage is intentional. Our leverage is to be levered long BTC and levered short fiat forever. This is how they make income. They're really good at it. They are my favorite Bitcoin treasury company right now.
The leverage is intentional. It's not that we're bearish Bitcoin or that we.
This is the guy that saved me six figures, probably like $200,000 last cycle. He saved me $200,000 from keeping me from losing my money sitting in platforms where they were getting ready to blow up.
We don't want to take on leverage in the balance sheet. The very intention of our business strategy is to be perpetually leveraged long Bitcoin, and we outlined that last May in 2024. We said our intention is to be levered long BTC and levered short fiat forever, and so that's very much the intention. But we're not going to take out bad debt. We don't want to take out anything that will cripple the shareholders or cripple the capital structure. So that's the intention, and in due course, I think that leverage ratio will crank right up.
I think Dylan LeClaire is probably one of the best risk managers on this planet. So when he tells you he's going to make a bunch of money off of it, you better believe him. There was a video I showed. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's too horrific. I don't want to post it right now, but there was a truck driver who was an illegal alien who did not speak English, who drove into cars and just destroyed all these people and these families, not even paying attention. And when they talked to him, they realized he was high. So he didn't speak English. He was high, and he murdered all these people by driving 70 miles an hour into the back of their cars and crushing them against other semis in front of him. And he got his CDL from California, and there's like 30 or 50,000 of these fucking people who are murdering people all around this country, and they shouldn't have a license because they couldn't pass the test. They couldn't speak English, and yet they've just got approved. And I want to know how that happened, and I want Gavin Newsom to be personally accountable for all of these fucking murders. And that day will come. That day will come where he is held accountable for what he has done to his state. And he deserves to pay a heavy price for all the corruption, all the theft. He deserves to pay a heavy price. He deserves to lose his life for what he's done to the people of his state. And I know that's a very strong statement, but it's true. Sui? Yeah, we can look at Sui. Give me 1 second. This is what we're looking at now. Tesla's down 1%, but it had such a great day yesterday. I don't think anybody can complain about that. Rest of the market's doing pretty good. Things aren't bad. Again, guys, we don't have to skyrocket this week. We just have to get more optimistic. I think by the end of next week, we'll have a really good idea if we're going to launch. If we get lower rates, another 25 bips. If we get a deal with Xi, even if it's just a headline for another week or two to keep things positive, or for another month, if we get a deal, that'll be seen as super positive too, and we'll do really well. But just sit back and relax. Enjoy your life. Go out, breathe, touch grass, and you'll make a lot of money if you ignore all the stupidity and noise. Sui, I never look at this chart. That's probably fairly apparent. It appears to be consolidating. I hear the fundamentals are really great. I would probably focus on people like Marty Party. AMD at 250. Did it get a nice bounce today? That one had a really beat up chart, so that doesn't surprise me. I'd say you'll know we're really breaking out on this one when we get to 3.46. And it can go higher. Here, I'll just give you your fib. I'll save this real quick. I should probably add this if I don't have it in the Discord. But it's really taken a long time to play out, but so is Sol. But I'd say conservatively, you could get to 781 pretty easily, and then you could have a blow off top, maybe even to the $12 range. That wouldn't be crazy. So this can go a lot higher than it is. You got to realize it's $9 billion though. It's just crypto, market caps get crazy. All right, Gavin Newsom can have his last supper of freedom at his fancy in the French letter. Yeah, restaurant. Yeah, right. He's such a prick. Merlin the Trader, on-chain flow. Just want to point out that Ethereum on exchanges is still falling off a cliff. It was literally 27.5 million Ethereum on exchanges in late 2022. And in that time, it has almost been cut in half, a 45% reduction in the amount of Ethereum that sit on exchange. We're definitely seeing potential for short squeeze territory. Somebody put this chart alone is worth $1 million. People fading the BTC chart are insane. You could be right. You could be right. We might have this impulsive channel that gets us to a topping pattern that's in a really high range. You do have to make sure that you're accounting for the law of large numbers, though, and the fact that everything gets higher. Oh, I got to save this, guys. I'm going to use this in the future. I don't even know if I want to spoil it right now, but I'm going to put it in my YouTube intros. It's so good.
You want to just quickly respond to that?
Yes, Mr. Infidel. We will keep government closed until the infidels give us what?
I'm going to save that for later, though. It's so good. So good. Migrant rapist avoids deportation because he didn't rape his 16-year-old victim long enough. This is apparently the reality in Sweden today. I'm speechless. Stop him. Help. And the guy's like, how long has it been? Again, this is a true story. This is a true story. It's so sad. This is the woman, right? I can't even say woman. She's fucking 16. She's a kid. Swedish court has ruled that the Eritrean migrant who raped a 16-year-old, Maya, won't be deported because the rape didn't last long enough. The rape took place on September 1st last year. She missed her bus. He raped her. He didn't do it for long enough. Evidently, if you can ejaculate quick enough as a rapist, then you don't have to worry about it. He got a 3-year prison sentence. You know he'll be out in less than a year, maybe 6 months. Because it's if you were a 90-year-old cancer-ridden patient in the UK or in Sweden, you'll have the police coming to your house and wanting to take you away. But in Sweden and the UK, if you're raping people, as long as it isn't long enough, you don't have to worry about it really being a crime. But I'm sorry to the 16-year-old girl that you had to experience that, and that's going to be a part of your life forever. You should feel safe. My daughter's going to feel safe. She's going to live in a world that's safe. And maybe that's what liberals are missing, man. Maybe it's that they don't have children. Or that they don't, I don't know, that they just didn't have good parents. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I don't know how you could want a world where your daughter would have to live with something like that for the rest of her life and have nobody get really punished for it. Have people that say the wrong words and that offend somebody get more punished than a rapist or a murderer. I will not live in that fucking world. Secretary of War, he had something to say about the drug cartels and terrorist organizations. Nope, I think this is just terrorist organizations. So think Antifa. Just think of all of them. This is what we're doing to all these motherfuckers.
Our message to these foreign terrorist organizations is we will treat you like we have treated Al-Qaeda. We will find you, we will map your networks, we will hunt you down, and we will kill you. And you've seen that evidence.
So we won't do that to the ones in the U.S.? We'll do this with the drug cartels, but the first 2 points are true for in the U.S. It's just take out the we will kill you part and put in we will imprison you, and that's in the U.S., right? That's Antifa and all these others. And then the drug cartels, you could just watch your boats get blown up, right? I'm Swedish, and I can't believe that our laws are so weak. It's sad, dude. It's sad. You guys, your children deserve better. Theo, I know your chart on asset and titties. Yeah, okay. So I'm not looking to get into options. It's up 12% on the day, which is cool. I like that. I'm not looking to get into more leverage. I've given myself rules on what I'm looking to accomplish, and I will abide by them. Capitulation is always a sign of the bottoming. Yes, which is probably why Metaplan is up 8% today and SmarterWeb's up 2.56. Pure capitulation. And we saw those same things in Iron. Iron's up 7.25 today. We saw that in Cypher. Cypher's up 9% today, and Ass and Titties is up 13. When I was a young adult, I thought grape was like 10,000x worse than Hurdy words. Rape. Okay, grapes are weird. That threw me off for a second. Right? Isn't that what we should think? Her words can hurt you, sure. You know what I have to say about that? Get the fuck over it. Suck it up. Life is hard. Your body will hurt you more in your own life than anybody's fucking words will. And you will die in the vessel you were born into alone. Okay? We are on a journey alone. If words are going to hurt you, you better get over it, or your life will be tough. And you will always have other people to blame for it. Or you could suck it up, deal with shit, and learn how to persevere. Which kind of human being do you want to be? This is funny. They're like, look at this. So Zoran, people praise this and are like, look at Zoran getting off the bus, public transportation on his own. I want to point to something. I want to point to the 1, 2, plus 3 security guards that he has around him, watching him. This man wants to abolish the fucking police, but he's getting praised for riding a public bus with 3 security guards. Does he do that every day? I'm sure he fucking doesn't. He's rich. He never even had a job. He had one when he was in his 30s. His mom gave it to him. Thank you, Mommy. He is literally everything that he professes to not be. Tim Cook, Apple's American-made advanced servers are now shipping from our new Houston facility to Apple data centers. These servers will help power private cloud compute and Apple Intelligence as a part of our $600 billion U.S. commitment. We can do stuff here. Maduro says, not war, just peace, forever, forever. Peace forever, no crazy war, please, please, please. Just peace, peace forever, peace forever. Bye, Maduro. We'll see if you live through it. Good luck, brother. You're gonna die. Zoran Mamdani refusing to denounce Sharia law and acting like he doesn't even know what it is. He's a fucking Muslim.
Sharia law. What is Sharia law? Yes. You denounce it, though. I'm asking you. I am running. I know, but I'm like, that's the point. If you're going to run for mayor.
He is a snake. He is an evil human being. And I'm sure he believes he's doing the right things. This man has never run anything, and you're going to give him the right to run New York City.
You have to denounce it. You denounce that. What is Sharia law? I come from a political tradition Donald Trump describes as...
I won't even go into the rest of it. This is in Portland, Oregon. This is a security guard working with the news crew here in Alameda was assaulted by anti-ICE protesters. He says they kept stepping in front of him, asking where he was going. He had a gash in his face and a chipped tooth. Someone called the police for him. He left the scene after the incident. This is the mostly safe rally. This is an important one. BTC versus gold. This shows the lag, right? It shows down where it, let me see. Which one comes first? BTC bull. Okay, here we go. Right here. Beautiful. Gold, rally. Bitcoin, next. This is the lag it has, right? Gold, rally. Bitcoin, next. Gold, rally. Bitcoin, next. Gold, massive rally. What do you think happens next? Bitcoin's going to have its parabolic moment. Hey, Jamie, thank you for becoming a member. You can talk in chat. Noodle, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you all for being here. We're going to this government closure is coming to an end next week. The rates are going to be lower next week, and we're probably going to have a good deal with China next week. A lot of good things. If you guys can wait a whole fucking week, it's going to be good. And if you're worried, own TLT. Just got into my Tesla. This is crazy, right? How can you fade Tesla right now? Omar said, I got into my Tesla right now. My calendar was updated with where I was going to go. So all I had to do was press a button. It drove me there and parked automatically. I was late, so I put it on Mad Max mode. So he pressed 2 buttons. He pressed start and he pressed go faster. And then he got to where he needed to be. That's the world we live in right now. And people are bearish. I don't know what to say. People are like, this is the worst October ever. You're right. But here's the thing. It just like how I said August was bad, so September was going to be good when people thought September was going to be bad. I agree with Long now. He's been right that October would fail for a while and that next week it gets better for sure. And maybe it starts to get better now. But we've got some things hanging over us, and next week they're going to all turn into tailwinds. I love Fetterman, too. He's a good dude. There's so much good stuff, guys. I don't even know. I don't know where to start with, like, whatever. Good things are happening, okay? Good things are happening. I hope you realize that. You should watch some of the videos that have Trump in them or where his administration is talking. You'd be a lot more optimistic if you listened to them. I think that's it for today, though, guys. I think I'm done. I hope you got a lot out of it. It's 8:50 right now. Go and enjoy your day. Maybe nibble off some profits if you got them, and turn those into some TLT if you got fears for the future. This is going to be a great opportunity to do it. But I love you guys. I hope you have a great day and a great weekend, and let's talk on Monday, okay?